Superion Upgrade. Now here's something that I saw and I was really curious about it, so I had to order it to check it out. Now I got this from AliExpress from the seller XY Figure Toy Store. Doesn't really come in a box, just some foam, but let's get that sucker open now, really fast. Meep, meep. As you can see inside, here we have some extra bits for Age of the Primes Superion. And these appear to be PLA 3D printed. Very high quality, very good. Now, I'm not a really big fan of the 3D printing stuff because I don't like all the lines and imperfections on it, but this is really high quality and you don't really see the lines. Let's take a look at Skydive here, one of the leg bots. And yeah, the silver, you can see a little bit more of the lines, but it's still really smooth. They did a really good job with this. Good construction too. But let's take this all out and get it ready. All right, here's all the parts lined up and ready to go. You can see here, these are what I really wanted, these front leg parts. And you can see here, let's zoom in. Yeah, they're really good quality. Really nice. I mean, look at that. Looks amazing. Very excited to assemble this guy. You get some new hands. They got some good weight to them. Nice solid feet. He really needs some feet. His feet are really tiny on this combiner, so this is going to be great. You can see the smoothness of this. Here's some parts of the arms right here. More leg bots, gun parts, height extenders for the legs. Another part of the arm. Some more parts for the knees, make them taller. And like I said, we saw him. It looks really good. And look, let's get real close in here. There's a spring built inside. So that way he'll be able to bend his knee and this part will get out of the way. That's really cool. I dig that. Let's take a look at air raid here. Got that spring action. A little wobbly, but still seems pretty solid. You can see the lines here on the silver, some on the black. You can feel it, but still very fine. All right, let me get these all ready to go. Okay, I've got each part lined up for the left leg, left arm, right leg, and right arm. All right, let's start with the left leg assembly first. Now here, there's a little slot that's going to fit in here. Each of these is specially made for each leg. You can see the little cutout here for that. That's nice. Very solid. Color match is pretty good. Then we'll grab this height extender here. We'll slide that onto the combiner joint. That's good. Nothing loose. Then we'll grab his knee pad and we'll just slide it on top there. All right, let's bring in the fake jet part. And then there's some extra wings here that have to be tabbed in. No glues needed. They fit in really snug. All right, we'll take this. And it's got a push on this little black piece here, which will close the little doors. So I'm going to take it, angle it from the bottom, and push the top in. And it'll peg in 2 spots on the bottom and 2 slots on the top here. You can see right there. Push that in. Just like that. There we go. Then there's tabs in up here. Right there. And you know it's aligned properly. Nice ratcheted knee still works fine. That spring. We'll take his foot. There's a slot here, and then there's a hole and a peg in the front of the toe. We'll pop that until it clicks. Everything seems very solid in this. I like that. Then we'll grab this front piece. This looks like it just simply pops on. Yep, just pops on the front like that. Yeah, now that's a leg. Look at that. Looks great. It's got a bit of a slimmer profile than the official with the huge bot hanging off the back, so very impressed with this. All right, let's get on to the right leg assembly. Same as before, slot this on. It tabs in only one way. Pegs in here. And it's, oh yeah, got to take this part and slide it over right here. So let's remove this piece again, and we'll unlock that just like that. Got to have it in the out position, and then this should fit on just fine now. Yeah, there we go. So nice and solid. Slide on this connector joint here, and then the kneecap. And then we'll grab skydive here, same thing. Angle it from the bottom, push in the black part. It's not working here. Oh, there's some extra residue on here from the printing process here. So let me go and clean that up real quick. All right, I cleaned it up and it just pegged in real simple. It's just a small little extra piece here. I just kind of used an X-Acto blade and knocked it off. Now it's fine. Sits on perfectly. Spring still works. This looks like a part's missing here, this yellow lightning bolt. I'll have to check the box. All right, let's plug the foot in. Nice solid click. It's one thing I do like about this kit. Just very solid and strong. All right, now we'll grab this piece, and this should just plug in here. Oh, it looks like it's in two parts, so let's take this red piece. I don't want to break it, so let's just keep this off. Pop in the silver piece. And we'll just pop this red piece on over here, being very careful about this thin part here. There we go. And once again, another beautiful, beautiful upgraded leg. There they are together. Yeah, that's nice. The bigger feet really helped too. He had some little baby toes. Didn't really like that. Oh, I checked the box, and sure enough, I had the extra little lightning bolt for his fin. So let me quick pop that in here. There we go. Looking good. All right, onto the arms. Let's start with the left arm assembly first. We'll pop off this old fist. It's on a mushroom peg. We'll pop on the new one. We'll push that down. We'll take this shoulder piece here. It's got 4 tabs and 4 slots. Just going to pop that together. There we go. Nice and snug. We'll grab the forearm piece. It connects the same way. You got to make sure that this open flap side is towards the back for the fin. So it only goes this way. So we'll tab that in. And that looks great. Elbow still works fine. Swivel. Let's check the wrist now. See. Oh nope, didn't put it in enough. Let's pop it in all the way. Gotta be careful here. There we go. Gives an extra little click. Now it's fully secured in place. So you got good wrist rotation, and the fingers can move kind of like the Commander Class Jetfire with the port for holding stuff. But yeah, it looks really nice. Let's get up and close here and take a look. Like I said, even though it's PLA 3D printed, they did a really good job with this. Looks really nice. I'm very happy with this purchase. All right, let's do the right arm assembly. Same thing. Let's replace the fist. Make sure we'll push this all the way in this time. There we go. And we'll grab this shoulder part here. Once again, 4 slots, 4 tabs. Pop this in. Gotta make sure it's connected all the way. Let's check here. Yeah, it's still a little off, so let's push it down. There we go. Yeah, the parts all seem to connect really well. All right, let's do the forearm armor. Pop this in here. There we go. Oh, let me fix this arm. I wonder what was going on. Didn't have it transformed properly. So now he's got the proper arm and elbow joint. And yeah, that looks really nice. Let's get a little closer look here at the red. There we go. It's a little orangey red compared to the regular Superion plastic, but I think it looks good. The details are nice. You can see some of the lines on it, but it's not that bad. All right, we got both arms done. Let's move along. Let's do the torso. Now this piece is pretty cool. I wasn't expecting this piece to totally replace Silverbolt, but hey, I'm down. Let me open it up right here. You can see there's a little tab and slot with the port in the front. So we have to line this up with this back piece here, just like that. And we sandwich the two halves together. And then this part will tab into the waist, just like that. And then this piece will tab in here to the chest. Plugs in like that. Oh, this seems a little loose here. I might have to add a little bit of plastic in there to make it more snug. Let's try. It's not bad. I don't think it's going to go anywhere, but yeah, it doesn't want to fully attach. Oh, there we go. Okay, that's nice. I love that new back. It's really cool. All molded in color. Pop the head on here on the ball joint. It's really snug at first. There we go. And the head's done pretty well. I mean, in the back here, there are some imperfections on the gold parts, but it's not too bad. It's a bit stiff. Can kind of wobble left and right. Can't really look up and down. It's a bit limited. Too bad they didn't give him a neck. All right, let's do the gun assembly. I will take this part here, and I see my first imperfection. It looks like it didn't fully print here on this clip. You can see right there. Some of the PLA didn't fully form the piece, so I'm going to have to go in and file that down so it'll fit onto this part, because if you don't do it, yeah, it won't slide over. It's a really snug fit on here, so yeah, it's not going to work. So I'm going to grab my file and get this ready. All right, it's attached. And I just went in with my file and filed down some of the rougher areas, and it clicked in. Oh, there we go, just fine. And this piece here looks like it's the new handle. I see it clicks in right here, and then two spots back here. Yeah, everything clicks in really well with this piece. I like that. And as far as this new barrel, let me take off Silverbolt's gun here and see if that helps. There we go. That slides just in there. Get this out of the way. And it looks really good. Much better weapon than that little puny one he had before. Now, I was wondering what this was sticking out here. I was going to take it apart and try to remove it, but actually it's a separate part. It was just kind of stuck. So I put it like this, slide it in, and there we go. The proper open barrel. Very nice. All right, time for final assembly. Now with this piece, it's a little tricky. You kind of angle it and click it down. It's a really snug fit. It's really tight. I don't know how these legs are going to come off without me unscrewing them, because that kneecap just really blocks everything. But hey, it's solid. I'll give you that. We'll show a back angle here. Kind of slide it in here. Kind of flex it down, and it clicks into place. One thing about this PLA, it's really strong. I do like that. And there's his new legs. Yeah, it's looking fantastic. Look at that. The jets hang off the back, but nowhere near as bad as the original figures. All right, let's come up here, and we'll slide the arms over these shoulder parts, which were Silverbolt's feet from before. So that's real tight there. Let's take a look. Oh, I see. It's indentations in there, so we have to just kind of force it down. So here we go.
Oh, my leg.
Oh, snap. And that's locked into place. Let's do the same thing on this side. It's a real tight fit. Let's take a look here from the back. Yeah, they've got to go right in there. So here we go. Come on. There we go. And it's seated. You can see right here. Can't go down anymore. And there we have him with his arms and legs attached. But can't forget his weapon. All right, so let's pop this in here. And that's a real snug fit too. Here he is, fully combined. Looking great. Gives him a lot of extra height. He now stands about 14 inches tall. That side profile looks great. The new back looks really clean. I really like that part here. Along with the leg joints with the springs. I like that as well. The cool thing about this kit is you really don't have to do any disassembly. You ain't got to take anything apart, no screws, no nothing. Everything just kind of pops on and is solid. I mean, the way the legs aren't as wide is really a plus. And I really love the front of the legs here. That really makes Superion in my eyes. Alright, this gun is bothering me, so it doesn't want to peg in all the way. So first of all, I'm going to take an X-Acto and just kind of bore out the fist a bit. Just a bit. And we'll test fit it here. And it still doesn't want to seat all the way down. Just some slight tolerance issues here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sand this. So I'm going to get my old sanding block out. And then we'll just sand it down. Nothing too crazy. It will change color a bit like this, but that's fine. It's going to be in the palm of his hand, so it doesn't bother me. So we'll just sand it all the way around. Try not to scratch any of the other parts of the gun. We'll just do that. Clean it off. And let's see if this works. Bring in the hand. Pop it down, and yep, it seats just fine. You can see here how it hits the forearm. So there we go. Easy fix. Let's get into the articulation now. The new head can move left and right. Can't really move up and down. Let's pop it. Oh, snap. Oh, my head. He's lost his head. All right, let's try that again. Let's pop this down, but not all the way. That way he can get a little bit of downward motion. Not really let it up, but you can give him a little head tilt. So it's up to you. Arms can rotate out to the sides. Do full 360. Elbows rotate and swivel. Nice bend. The fist can rotate the wrist, and then the fingers can move in and out. He has waist rotation, nice and solid. The hips are pretty much the same as they were before, so they're going to ratchet forward, of course, just fine. Knee, nice solid bend, but now you can move this down on the spring, and you can get a deeper knee bend, which I think is really cool. I'm sure a lot of posing might wear this little nose down of the jet, but that's fine. And of course, he's still got the same ankle tilts here, just a bigger foot. So he's really solid. He ain't gonna fall over, no way. The only piece I'm not super thrilled with are the hands. They're kind of limited. I kind of like my hands to be able to splay open and close and have individual fingers. But I'm sure DNA Design's got something to work, so I'll just get that. I really wanted these legs on him, big time. All right, let's do a size comparison quick. Get them off to the size. Here we'll bring in Legacy Motormaster. Now this has the added kit to make them a bit taller, so you can see they look really good together. I do like these combiners being pretty beefy. Let's do a back-to-back shot here. You can see they're about the same size. I mean, Menasor looks to be a little bit bigger just because of his shoulders. Let's do a back shot here. They both look really clean from the back, except for the car heels on Menasor. I just do not like that at all. And I think this company does do a kit for this Menasor, so I'll have to look into that, see if I can improve them a bit. But yeah, they look pretty good together. Way better than the Combiner Wars stuff. I just was not happy with that at all. Especially that Devastator. My God. Speaking of Devastator, let's bring in the combined form of Studio Series 86 Devastator. You can see how they look together. Devi is still a little bit too squat and beefy, but I'm sure DNA Designs will fix that. Check out my review of the Constructicons and this Devastator on my channel. I think this company, QQT, also does something for Devastator, but I'm not sure. There's a nice back-to-back shot here. And you can see that ugly backpack on Devastator. I don't know why they did that. All right, let's get them out of here. Another thing that's cool is I can also display my Aerialbots separately from Superion, which is really cool. Now, I only have 3. I never could find Fireflight or Skydive in the stores. And I'll probably end up picking those guys up, maybe on clearance. Probably with the cost of Transformers nowadays. Oh, here he is next to Commander Class Optimus Prime. And they look fantastic together. Let's get a little pose action here. That's one thing I do like about this figure. He's just so easy to pose. Nothing falls off or gets in your way. You can just grab them and manhandle them, move them around, pose them how you like. You know, you don't have to be so delicate. You can just have fun, like what they're supposed to be, you know, fun toys. And I think that's where this company has succeeded. Plus, the price is pretty low. The cost of this was less than the two Aerobots I'm still missing. If you don't want to use the new head, you can just pop off the head that's inside Silverbolt's chest and push it all the way down until it pops on. Then you can have the actual toy head on there with the silver mouth plate. So it's up to you. And you don't have to use all the parts from this kit. Like if you want to use Slingshot for the arm, it looks just great with this set. I mean, the arms on this figure weren't really a problem. It's mostly the lower half. That shoulder's just ugly with that port right there, not as clean. And if you bring in the new piece, you can see here it has the cool thing with the jet nose and tail combined on the shoulder, which I really like, versus this combiner which has the tail down on the way on the wrist. Not a fan of that. If you want, you can flip these wings open here to better match the other side. Even though you see all that waffling, it's kind of ugly and bulky, but let's bring in the new piece. You can see the color difference here, white versus gray. And as far as the leg bot, here it is with that giant air raid attached, which just looks horrible. It just looks so ugly. You can see here how far it sticks out past the new fake jets. Yeah, it just looks terrible. I just never liked that. I thought that was the worst. So let's just grab this sucker here and rip him back off. There you can see just how much bigger. Now a lot of this goes inside the leg, so it's really from here. So yeah, it's much better with this piece on. Plus you get the cool front of the leg, which really looks great. Let's carefully push this on, not pushing on the cockpit, just pushing here on the wings. That's not break anything. Yeah, much better. I mean, you can't tell me that this piece couldn't have transformed and fit inside of Superion's leg. I mean, there's plenty of room in there, so yeah, just bad engineering. So do I recommend this? Yes, I do. Highly recommended. Now, I'm not a big fan of this PLA 3D printing stuff. I don't like all the lines and stuff, but this looks really clean, really strong, really good quality. I'm just thrilled to have this in my collection. Now, I'm sure DNA Design's going to come out with some stuff, add-ons, and I'll probably end up getting those as well. But for now, this looks great, and he's going to be the centerpiece of my collection. I think Superion might have just won the Combiner Wars, as he's now #1 on my list of my favorites of these new figures. Now, I know some people might not like it that the robots don't actually transform to make the limbs, but I want the combined form to look the best, and I think with this kit, it does. Make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. And thanks for watching.